Okay, the time is 7:37. I'll call this regular scheduled meeting of the mayor and council to order. Today is October 14th, 2013. All members of the mayor and council are present. First, we have the invocation. In lieu of an invocation tonight, I'm going to have a moment of silence. Some of you may have read or seen on television a neighbor of mine. She lives in Summit Chase community. Her name is Becca Swalls, S-W-A-L-E-S. She suffered from breast cancer. She had 3 daughters, and all 3 of them were engaged, and so they were trying to move their weddings up and have a joint wedding so their mother could be present before she passed away. The wedding, they moved it up to yesterday, and she passed away at 4:30 this morning. So please have a moment of silence for her family. Thank you. And now for tonight's announcements. October 14th, starting today through November 1st, we'll have advanced voting for the November 5th general election. That will be held at City Hall, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. Tomorrow night, October 15th, will be the 4th quarter 2013 Snellville Entrepreneur Summit. It will be held in the community room at City Hall. Networking and on-site registration will begin at 6 p.m., and the program will be from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. On October 27th, you can watch a rebroadcast of this council meeting on Comcast Channel 25 at 6:30 p.m. Our next regularly scheduled council meeting will be at October 28th with a 6:30 p.m. work session and a 7:30 p.m. meeting. The October 29th Planning Commission meeting has been canceled, and the general election for the City Council will be held on November 5th here at City Hall in the community room from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. For the pledge tonight, I'd like to invite Ms. Linsky's AP U.S. Government class forward to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, wow, am I the only one?
Thank you. Those are students from South Gwinnett High School. You picked a lucky meeting to come to because hopefully it won't be too long. Now, under ceremonial matters, we first have Miss Burke. Is she hiding from us in the back? If she'd come forward. Miss Burke is our controller for the city of Snellville, and she has received the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. This is an award given by the Government Finance Officers Association. This is the 2nd year in a row that Ms. Burke has won this award, and she's only been eligible for it 2 times, and she's won it both times. So congratulations to Ms. Burke. She does an excellent job for our city.
Jen, you're not going to get away that easily. This is a typical picture of Jan and her work environment. I don't know if y'all can see the adding machine tape or not, but It's voluminous and probably a couple of good-sized oak trees that Jan goes through a year. And we really appreciate the effort that she puts forth in meeting the criteria that earn us this award and make us look good. And Jan, I can tell you on behalf of the staff, we appreciate what you do to keep us in line and keep us in line with the GFOA folks. Thank you.
Now we have Proclamation 2013-21, Snellville Lodge 99 Day. In the past, we've talked about the Masonic Lodge here in the city of Snellville. We talked about their history and how it correlates with the city history. And they've been here to help us with our city events, so I wanted to do this proclamation tonight honoring them. So Proclamation 2013-21. Whereas the Fraternity of Ancient, Free, and Accepted Masons is the oldest, largest, and most widely known fraternal organization in the world, dating back to 647 AD, and Freemasonry is directly descended from associations of operative Masons, the cathedral builders of the Middle Ages, who traveled through Europe employing the secrets and skills of their crafts. Whereas our forefathers and leaders of honor and dignity served as Freemasons and contributors to these communities, including Masonic presidents George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, Andrew Jackson, James K. Polk, James Buchanan, Andrew Johnson, James A. Garfield, William McKinley, Theodore Roosevelt, William Taft, Warren Harding, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, and Gerald R. Ford. Whereas Snellville Lodge number 99, a free and accepted Masonic lodge, was founded on October 24th, 1945, and is celebrating 68 years of being a cornerstone in our community. As one of the most respected Masonic lodges in the state of Georgia, Snellville Lodge number 99 totes a modest and visible structure in the heart of the city of Snellville. Whereas its membership roster, past and present, includes many namesakes and great contributors to the county, city, and state of Georgia, including council members, mayors, senators, representatives, commissioners, judges, and a very long list of other community leaders, such as Mr. E.R. Snell, Mr. Wayne Mason, Mr. Perry Britt, Mr. Thomas Walton Briscoe, and Mr. James McGill, having been involved in the founding of this great city of Snellville. Whereas from the very beginning and continuing through the modern day, Snellville Lodge number 99 has been an important pillar of the city of Snellville, exhibiting a deep desire to serve the community and its residents, more especially through application of the Masonic teachings of morality, relief, truth, and brotherly love. Relief in pledging to always help others, truth in all action, brotherly love in affirming that all of mankind is created equal. And whereas with a seemingly unending list of charitable efforts, Snellville Lodge number 99 is well known for its philanthropy, providing a number of college scholarships to local students, helping to fund local schools, and regularly contributing to a wide variety of other causes benefiting children, orphanage, abused women, the elderly, medical research, hospitals, and the less fortunate of our local area. Whereas in celebration of the lodge's history and contributions to the city and surrounding areas, the city of Snellville recognizes this lodge as a significant contributor to the foundation of this great city of Snellville and the important contributions the members have made to our community. Now therefore I, Kelly D. Couts, by the virtue of authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Snellville, Georgia, do hereby proclaim October 14, 2013 as Snellville Lodge number 99 Day in the city of Snellville, and urge all residents to join me in honoring all those members, both past and present, for their efforts to improve the quality of our life in our great city. Proclaimed this 14th day of October 2013. If we can have the members of the Snellville Lodge number 99 that are present come forward, and Council Member Sabag, who is also a member of the lodge, I will present this proclamation to you. Thank you, gentlemen, for your work and for your dedication to our community. That now brings us to our minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from our September 23rd, 2013 business and public hearing?
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The minutes stand approved. We have no invited guests tonight. Now for our committee and department reports is Ms. Ferris with the Board of Appeals.
Good evening. The Board of Appeals met on October 8th to hear BOA 1303. This was a variance request by Kurt Schultz for the construction of a detached garage. The board approved the request with conditions. Any questions? Thank you.
We now have Joe Williams with the Planning Commission.
This last month, we had a meeting, and we had the case came before us for a CUP, which was 13-06, which was Lifegate Ministries, at 2410 Wisteria Drive, which is the old vitamin store at the Kmart Shopping Center, right there behind where Ryan's used to be. But it was approved. We made a couple of modifications on signage, and gave them some suggestions on bringing all the signage into compliance with the current ordinance. It's going to clean up a eyesore that we've got, and a problem that we have with vagrancy down there and with code and health violations because of the pool that was in the back. Also, it's going to clear up all the back taxes and fines and legal fees that we've incurred in trying to keep this property up to par. So it's a win-win for the city, for the people, and for the applicant. And it was approved unanimously and moved on to y'all. Any questions?
Questions for Mr. Williams? Thank you. We now have Lisa Platt, Director of our Parks and Recreation.
We had a Parks and Rec Board meeting on October 1st. A couple of things came out of it. Our Vice Chair, Bobby Owens, had to step down. He had a job conflict. I sent an email with the letter of resignation. So we're going to kind of put out some feelers, see if we can fill that position. Also, we talked about our policy on distribution of literature. The policy basically stayed the same. We just needed to address the area where we are allowing that to happen with Phase 2A. The area that we had assigned that was no longer there. So they just approved another area that we've moved it to within the park so that that policy can continue. So it was really more of an update than a change. We also had a request from an organization for a memorial structure. So we talked about that. The board is going to look into specifics and then come back to staff to see what we want to do with that, what parameters we want to have, and how we want to keep that in check for the future. So they are tasked with trying to figure out what they want to do and then come back and let us know. We also had a request from Carolyn Kirkland to gather some donations to create markers actually naming Pate Lake. There's nowhere that it says that anywhere around the lake. So the board was fine with that. The only stipulation they wanted was to make sure that it came back to the department, that they follow size and structure, and so that we keep the signage similar to everything else in the park. So they approved that, and I'll get back with Ms. Kirkland to talk about getting donations.
Questions for Ms. Platt? I have a couple, just a sec.
Yep.
Can you email the council, I guess, the new policy or the new location for the policy? And also, can you send us estimates of what it will cost for the nameplate marker for Pate?
Yes, because that's one of the things that she had asked for, and once I got the approval, we'll look, and we're also going to add with it a couple of options with how we want it to be shown.
Right.
So that it's similar with all the rest of our markers.
Okay, great, thank you. And that now brings us to our city manager report, Mr. Sanders.
Thank you, Mayor. I have just a couple of updates. Just as Ms. Burke is responsible for keeping us in line with GASB and GFOA guidelines, Public Works folks, Gay, Craig, and their staff, has certain responsibilities through Georgia DNR and the Environmental Protection Division of the state. One of those is an annual stormwater report. Just this last week, we received a letter that basically said, we've received a September 30th, 2013 letter responding to all our comments, and based on our review of the additional information, we've determined the annual report is acceptable. This is a very big part of what we do stormwater-wise, administratively, every year, and I just want to thank the Public Works folks for keeping us in line with those guidelines, because when that does not happen, penalties and fines could and have resulted, and it's nice to get approval on our report every year. One other thing, and I need to step down because I've got a visual aid for my last update. Y'all may or may not recognize this piece of pipe. And if you'd like a souvenir from Johnson Lake Dam, I brought it just for anybody who wants to claim it. I actually tried to cut it up into several pieces and hand those out, but it's actually in better shape than you'd think. But on Johnson Lake, an issue that has been on our plate for over a year now, I'm pleased to report that Mr. McEachern, the contractor, and if we can put up a few slides here, has made great progress in making repairs. Our pipe under the road is in, the liner pipe, it's grouted, we're protected as far as our roadway is concerned. This is out on site. This will be the final cap on the discharge pipe in the lake. If there's a screen, it's kind of hard to see there. That will go on top of the discharge pipe, and the screen will keep debris once the water rises to that level. This is the discharge pipe. You can't quite see it. There will be a gate valve and a wheel on the other side, but it's in, and it looks beautiful to me. And right here, this dirt is where our coffer dam was, trying to keep the water out of our pipe that went under the road. Gay and the Public Works folks have literally spent dozens of hours out there trying to protect that dam. It's gone. It's dirt because there's the new discharge pipe. And we are probably a week away of good weather from being done, pulling our siphon out of the lake and letting the lake fill up to normal pool. So I just wanted to give you that update. Anybody who's interested in this pipe, please come and get it.
Thank you, Mr. Sanders. That is good news. That now brings us to our old business. Under public hearing, A, we have second reading, consideration action on approval to send the 2014-2019 short-term work program update to the Atlanta Regional Commission for review. Do I have a motion?
Turn on the mic. Motion to approve consideration action on approval to send the 2014-2019 short-term work program update to the Atlanta Regional Commission for review.
There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll open the floor for public comment if anyone would like to speak for or against this motion. Seeing no public comment, I'll close the discussion. I'll call the motion. All those in favor of approval to send our 2014-2019 short-term work program update to the Atlanta Regional Commission for review signify by raising your right hand. 6 in favor, all those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. Item B, we have first reading on CUP 13-06. That's the application by Lifegate International for conditional use permit for a church and request for variances from the zoning ordinance, development regulations, buffer, landscape, and tree ordinance for the 3.844 plus or minus acres of vacant property zoned general business district located at 2410 Wisteria Drive in Snellville, Georgia. Do I have a motion to waive the first reading and place it on our October 28th, 2013 agenda for second reading?
Motion to waive first reading CUP 13-06, place on the October 28th meeting.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Kraus. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of waiving it and placing it on our October 28th agenda signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. Item C, first reading, consideration action on home rule ordinance to amend 2.19 subsection B of the Snellville City Charter for notification of special meetings. Do I have a motion to waive the first reading and place that on our October 28, 2013 regular meeting?
Motion to waive.
There's a motion by Councilman Kraus. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of waiving and placing October 28th meeting signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. That concludes our old business. Now for new business, we have item A, consideration action on a short-term lease proposal on the old police department located at 2686 Springdale Road. Do I have a motion to authorize the mayor to execute a lease for 2686 Springdale Road?
So moved.
There is a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Witz. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Howard. Any further discussion?
Yes, Mayor. What we're doing with this is, as many of you know, our old police station over on Pate Road, and there's a large parking lot there also, and it's been sitting vacant since we moved into our new building. This is giving us an opportunity to rent out part of that lot to an RV dealer who has an overabundance of inventory and needs to park some of it somewhere else. So we're going to put it in that lot over there. In return, he's going to receive $1,500 a month. So for 1 year, it's $18,000 worth of income into the city for a piece of property that basically is just sitting there. So it's good for the gentleman with the RV dealership, and it's also good. It's good for the city because it's income on something that's just sitting there idle.
Additional comments? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of the motion as stated signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. Now that brings us to our council report.